All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trade. Today's Tuesday, March 9th, 2022. So market's finally able to sustain some bit of a rally here. There's about 20 minutes left in the trading day. We see we gapped up here and kind of just grinded higher all day long. Little dip here in the afternoon and then kind of pushed higher a little bit in the last hour or so. So really that scenario that I kind of laid out yesterday seems to be playing out. So we talked about this. We had the big sell-off, then a bottoming candle here, sideways move up, little pullback double top, and then a 1, 2, 3 sell-off with a doji candle, 2 days up and then down. And now it looks like we're doing kind of the same thing. So a big bottoming candle, up, sideways, little higher high, double top kind of deal, and then a pullback 1, 2, 3 down. Was a doji here until really the last 10 minutes or so yesterday, if you can see there. Yeah, so really that last candle of the day kind of pushed us away from the lows. But point is, you had that move down and now a pop up. So I said that it was likely we would get a move higher today. We got a gap higher just like we did on this day here, the 15th. So it'll be interesting to see, do we have kind of a similar follow-through day tomorrow? I talked about this inside bar yesterday, and I tweeted out this morning. So you got this inside bar here. I have this going up to about 433. So that's kind of my near-term target here. We're not that far away from it right now. Market's pulling back just a little bit off the highs. Very light volume here today. They really had the algo turned off for volatility. Take a look at the VXX here. And look at the size of the candles from yesterday. And then, these are 10-minute candles here. Look at the size here versus today. So the volatility algo is really turned off today. Not seeing a lot of volume. That means that there's not institutions necessarily buying this market either. So just be careful with that. But, and again, we talked about this failed inside bar, and we closed below this low. So this market is still very vulnerable. I think there's going to be resistance at 433. And then again, we're watching this trend line here, which coincides with the 20 moving average. So that's what we're looking for on the upside. That said, market had a nice day, and we'll kind of give it the benefit of the doubt right now. Russell 2000 was showing leadership again this morning, again making higher highs. Very first thing in the morning, you can see here on the corner of my screen. So it started taking out that high very early, and that told me that we were probably likely to push higher here a little bit today, which has happened. Triple Qs up almost 4% here, 3 3/4. So a big move for the triple Qs, almost erasing that big sell-off from Monday, that big ugly candle we had on Monday. Tesla up 4% here. I gave this out on Twitter not that long ago, but nice little inside bar there on the hourly. And so this could be a little power hour play if you're looking for an easy day trade, and that has worked out pretty well so far. So Tesla holding up. Also inside of the Qs, Apple up 3.5%, Microsoft big day up 4.5%, and Google up over 5% as well. So big tech taking the leadership role here right now, and we're getting a little bit of a relief bid. Semiconductors also having a nice day, 4.5% here on the SMH. Nvidia up over 7%, AMD up 5.5%. So semi's getting a nice bid, and possibly you want to watch here. We want to watch if it can close above this red bar high. That would be a positive in the near term. Also today, we're going to have a failed head and shoulders pattern here. So this pattern triggered on Monday, and now we're going to close back above the neckline. So that's a failed pattern. Typically, when you get failed patterns like this, it usually results in a really sharp move the other way. So there's a there's a good possibility that we could move higher here. You could also make a case that you kind of have, maybe it's kind of a little tight here. I'm just doing this right now, but you can make a case you got a bit of a falling wedge there on the SMH. So that's definitely something to keep on the radar as well. So we'll be watching that for sure. But anyways, shifting gears over here to IGV, up 5% as well. So popping off of that double bottom we talked about yesterday. Still inside of that red bar though, but a close above that would be a positive in the near term. The big reason why market was able to rally off the lows today was energy. So crude coming back in over 11%. Look at that monster reversal today on crude. By the way, we picked up SCO yesterday right at the lows. Our entry was $4.92. We've already got half off the table, and we're up over 30% on this 2 times short oil right now. Just an absolutely monster trade in really less than a day. So pretty amazing move there. We got stopped out of a few things on Monday, but nice to bounce back really quickly. And hey, you're not going to win all of them, but always nice to get a positive trade right in the books after having to take a few stop outs. If you guys want to get in on that, come find me on Carnivore Trades. It's free trial. It's $15 a month. After that, come take the course if you want. I detail everything about how I take every single trade I do, all my methodology and everything. So if you're interested in that, come find me on carnivoretrades.com. Anyways, flipping over here, I'm getting back into it. So let's go back to the Dow Transports. So Dow Transports here up 3%. Again, dipping down below that 15K level. And then nice pop today. You know, once you make too much out of it, again, it's still inside of this red bar. The one area of strength here was the Jets. So finally, Jets getting some relief bid. Obviously loving those that suppressed crude price today. And you know, and I warned about that. You know, guys, I told you about that price of crude was going to come in. It was looking very top heavy, and you know, that's what we're seeing here. And you got to be careful when things go parabolic. That's any sort of news creates a rush for the exit. But anyways, Jets up 6% here. Rail's getting hit a little bit, but the Jets are picking up, doing a lot of the heavy lifting. CSX down here, Union Pacific, basically flattish. Norfolk Southern is also slightly red here, but the Jets helping out the transports very much. Let's flip over to the 10-year yield. So up 4% today. Nice pop on yields. Again, a little bit of that fear subsiding. 30-year also up 2.5. That's getting close to the highs from February here, but I'm not convinced that this is ready to push higher just yet. That is a good weekly pattern, though. It's starting to shape up there on the weekly. 10-year, nice power bar here. We'll see what we get to on Thursday, or excuse me, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. We have CPI tomorrow, so you know there's the potential for that to be a thing here. And I believe I actually said today is actually Wednesday, not Tuesday. So little mix up there at the beginning of the video, but indicates we have CPI tomorrow, which is Thursday, and you know, that could move the markets. Although I think really the market's kind of looking ahead to FOMC. I think that the CPI could be a little bit of a distraction, kind of an afterthought. I mean, yes, we know inflation's high, right? Okay, it's probably going to be some type of a record print. Okay, we get it. Now what's the Fed going to do? So I don't think you know, I wouldn't put too much based on the CPI number. It's going to push the market. You know, there will be some volatility in the morning, either up or down, but after that, I think the market's going to pretty quickly start looking ahead to FOMC. So I don't know if yields are really going to make any type of a big move up until, you know, at least next week when we have FOMC. By the way, we have OPEX next week too, so that is going to be pretty wild with the Fed as well and this market. Anyways, let's keep it moving here. Let's get back over to home builders here. XHB up 4%. Again, inside of this red bar, but hanging in there, getting a bid. VNQ, we talked about this one showing strength. It hasn't broken out yet, but again, this isn't the worst pattern here. If the market gets a bid, you know, nothing to say this can't push up to 108. You got that 100 MA in there, but you know, that could be a potential pop candidate if the market can get some type of relief bid here. All right, flip financials here. XLF up 4%. Nice pop off the lows. Broker dealers having a nice day as well. Nice strong reversal there, up 4.77 currently. JPM, these levels I give you guys are working out really well here. So JPM getting right into that 127 handle yesterday, and a nice pop off of that. I mean, that's picture perfect pivot low. That's where you consolidated. You couldn't break out. You broke out, back tested it. Your first back test probably gonna be defended. Morgan Stanley, I gave you guys this level as well here, right around 83, 84 bucks. Getting a nice bid off of that, up 5.5% today. So financials getting a little bit of a relief bid, and you know, they're holding up for now. But again, if that yield curve flattens out, it's going to change everything. All right, so energy here, XLE. Down 3% today, taking a hit. Hasn't broken trend yet, though. XOP, same thing. And OIH, same thing. Hasn't broken trend, but possible little evening star reversal there on the OIH. You know, power bar, big fat doji gap up, and then a reversal, a gap down. That's a possible evening star reversal there on the OIH. Chevron holding up the best out of the energy stocks, but still down 2.5% here. Occidental holding up really well, but this thing is extremely long in the tooth here. Just look at the volatility at the top there. Nothing short of panic buying there. Exxon actually down quite a bit. Also a potential bit of an evening star reversal there on Exxon as well. Crude oil, obviously we talked about that, down 11%. You know, first stop here, you're going to hit that 20 moving average. I don't know if it hits it overnight. It could hit it overnight. It could hit it in the European session. Maybe it hits it tomorrow. But that's going to be your first stop, and then through there you're going to be looking at 95. And if it comes down with volume, which it looks like it will, it may pierce. So it's not going to just stop at the 20 moving average dead in its tracks. It's probably going to pierce through that. So that's why I would say 95 is going to be kind of an area there. Also, I showed the members this earlier, but you got this upsloping trend line kind of coinciding with that pierce of $100. So anywhere from 95 to 100 is probably going to be your first stop if you get through that 20 moving average. But regardless, big move down in crude today. And I warned about this over the weekend, and I was kind of talking about it last week a little bit. It's look, this is getting to panic buy levels, and when this happens, any little bit of news can cause a run for the exit. Everybody who's greedy panic buying up here, they're all getting washed out right now. Anyways, nat gas continuing to pull back here. Again, I said yesterday it has to put in a higher low. That still remains the case. It hasn't made a lower low yet. So nothing really terrible here, but you want to see it make a higher low and get some type of reversal if you want to see it move higher. Outside of that, nothing really new to report there. Dollar index pulling back sharply, as you'd imagine, with kind of the fear subsiding a little bit. So a pretty steep reversal there on the dollar. Again, support's going to be 97.50 and 97 there on the downside. Also, moving with the dollar. Gold engulfing reversal today on gold. Take a look at GDX. Also an evening star there. Big move. It is way off the lows though, so it did claw back quite a bit. But this looks to have put in some type of a near-term top, as does the price of gold. Silver also an engulfing reversal, or just shy of an engulfing reversal there on spot silver, but a pretty good reversal nonetheless. SILJ. Coming back in pretty sharply, also kind of an evening star pattern there. Take a look at platinum. This one came in really sharp. So this one, it wiped out all of yesterday's and Monday's gains, and it is trading now at 1100. So it got up to that 1200 handle that I thought it could, and pretty big reversal there. That looks to have topped out in the near term as well. Palladium, same kind of deal, pretty good engulfing reversal, but still kind of hanging on to the highs here, right? So it's still above this pivot here. It's still in this kind of range here. It's held up the best out of the precious metals so far. Actually, well, should say gold has held up a little bit better, to be completely fair. But in any case, palladium hanging on to the highs for now. Copper also pulling back in. So again, these sort of resources, metals, energy starting to come back in a little bit. So a little 3-bar sell there on copper, 1, 2, 3 down. Basically back testing support. This probably gets a bounce tomorrow, I would imagine. But nice pullback off the highs. And let's take a look at the weekly actually. Yeah, so that would be a failed breakout if you ask me on the weekly. If we were to close here, we still got 2 days left. We'll keep an eye on it, but nice pullback there on copper. Anyways, let's flip over to Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin, I talked about this yesterday and really been talking about it pretty much every single day. But the fact that we didn't lose that green bar low and Bitcoin's popping is a leading indicator. And so, Bitcoin getting a bid here, Ether up 4% here. So crypto is showing, and just like the Russell 2000, crypto is showing a little bit of leadership and showing potential for risk on. And that kind of opened the door for the possibility for a green day today. And I talked about that yesterday. Always look at Bitcoin, always look at the Russell 2000. And I always keep my eye on Tesla as well. You always want to have those risk off stocks and risk off indexes and assets. You keep an eye on those. They'll tell you where the market wants to go. If you see them starting to bid, even if the market isn't bidding yet, it could be a leading indicator. So always keep your eye on that. But in any case, Bitcoin, again, holding this green bar low, maybe it has, opens the door for a little bit of a move up here. Again, that 45 handle has been resistance. So if it can get through that, then, maybe it goes back to this upsloping trend line. But again, we're watching this weekly. So we got this inside bar here on Bitcoin, and until proven otherwise, that's there. But again, it gets complicated here, but you have a bullish inside bar also that never really broke down. So you got below that low, but you never closed below it. So interesting little setup here on Bitcoin. And if you close above this red bar high, that's a failed inside bar, and it probably goes a lot higher. So that is what I'm looking at there for crypto. But yeah, outside of that, let's flip back over here to the spiders. Let's take a look at the intraday. All right, so pulling back a little bit off the highs. Nothing too crazy though. Vol getting a little bit of a bid here. But important point is the market is holding onto its gains finally. Even if we sell off a little bit more into the close, I mean, what's it going to do? Go down to 425.50? The point is the market held onto its gains for once. and got a little bit of a relief bid. So we'll see what we get from tomorrow. CPI numbers coming out. Again, watching this upsloping or downsloping trend line rather, and obviously this red bar high too, a 432.30. That's going to be resistance, local resistance for sure. Then you have this gap fill. So there's a lot of levels up here coming into play here on the spiders. The trend line, the 20 moving average, gap, red bar high. A lot of things going on in this area, and we'll see what we get here tomorrow and going into the weekend. Anyways, guys, take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.